Yo, yo. Happy Friday. Welcome. Welcome. Let's see. We just want to check the everything's okay. Mic looks good. Okay. Audio looks good. Fantastic. So what is up? Let's see. We got Mike in the house. Let's go. Let's see more games that you think are better than dwellings that prove you've been gone too long because your head ain't right. So excited. Andrew on stream as it was meant to be. Mike, thanks so much. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with one of these picks on this 10 that we're doing today. So we are doing 42-31. Dimitri, what's up, man? How's it going? So we are doing 42-31. And again, I did use Pub Meeple. I submitted a bunch of games. It was more than 50 just to, out of curiosity, see where they ended up. And then so they pit two games head to head, and I just chose the games that at that moment, I preferred over the other one for various reasons, and it popped out this list. So I'm quite shocked at where some of these rank. One in particular, I guess it just kind of, rubbed me the right way, I guess you could say. So, 40-31. So we got JF. Good morning, good day. What is up, JF? Hope you're doing well. Happy to make it on time live. Thank you so much, Brian. What's up, Brian? How's it going, man? It's been a while. White Rabbit Scribe. Hey, what's up, dude? Hope you're well. Andrew, let's go big on this list. Freddie, you are going to be happy with some of the picks. Maybe not on this 10. Let's see. Well, I know you like one game on here. I guess two games. Yeah, Freddie, you at least like two games on here. Maybe three. But next, you're going to have some picks coming up. Some games that you really like on the remaining list. So, yeah. 40-31. Yeah, hope everybody's been well. Appreciate you guys stopping by. It really means a lot. So the plan is next week, we're going to be finishing up. So on Monday, we're going to be doing 30-21, Wednesday, 20-11, and then the Friday is going to be the 10-1. Tim, good luck with the stream, sir. Thank you so much, Tim. Appreciate that. Okay, so I think I'll get started. And again, all the games on this list, most of these I'm probably never getting rid of. Maybe at some point when I feel okay with, I've had enough. Like Solomon Kane was on the list last Wednesday. Really love that game. If somebody asked me to play it again, absolutely. I just feel like I was done with the game. And then Title Blaze, like I mentioned as well, wasn't on the top 50. Still really like the game. Got rid of it. I felt like I was good with. So, right now, though, I mean, all of these games, I love these games. And I am just such that kind of person that when I play a game, it's probably going to rise a few spots on the list. It's just how I roll. So, okay, let's just get started with number 40. Frodo, what's up, man? Looking forward to seeing your list. Thank you so much, Tim. And if you guys know yours, feel free to share, when I'm going through the numbers as well. I'm curious about your guys' list as well. Good to see all you superstars here tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's get started with number 40. So number 40 is going to be Horrified. Really like this game. It's very simple. You're fighting against these monsters. It's a cooperative game. The board is very small. It's a very simple game. So there's going to be these items placed on the board, and I love the artwork on this as well. But, you in working with the team, you're going to be going around the board, picking up different items, and you're going to be fighting these various monsters. And the monsters each have their own set of things that you have to do to defeat those monsters. So maybe like the Blue Lagoon, you have to take this boat around this little stream. And so depending on what color token you discard, that's going to take it up to a certain spot on that track. And so once you reach the end of the track, you defeat that monster. Or Dracula, you might need to defeat 4 coffins, and I believe it's like you need to discard 3 items, combined power of 6, something like that. And once you destroy the 4 coffins, you defeat Dracula. So each monster has their own unique way that you have to defeat them. And working together, it's very simple. There's constantly items being put onto the board. You can get powers throughout the course of the game as well. The board isn't that big, so movement is pretty simple. You're gonna have to rescue, what are they, civilians? I think I don't know what exactly they're called, but you have to rescue other people, and the monsters are hunting you down, trying to get into your space to do bad stuff to you. What's cool is, too, is when you are defeated, you're not actually out of the game. You're just going to come back to the hospital at the beginning of the next round. So there's really, like, even if you get caught out in the open, you can't discard any items to avoid hits. That's fine. You're going to come back. You're still a part of the game. So it's gone over well with the family. We played a lot of this, me, Lauren, and Chase, and we just like it, especially around, I think I got a playthrough up when I did the 5 Nights of Fright one year. We got a playthrough up, me and Lauren, but it works well at 2 multiple player counts. Very simple, small box as well, easy to get out, just easy to teach as well. So Horrified, just really like this one. Haven't played it for some time. I think the last time we did play it was that 5 Nights of Fright, so it's been a while. But I can definitely see, you know, if I play this with new people, like my daughters are getting older, once we start playing this, you know, this can be an easy, you know, entry point-ish. Once they start playing it, I could definitely see this maybe rising a little bit more. But yeah, Horrified. Just to hurt me. Maybe Mike, but no, I'm just kidding, man. Just played Horrified for the first time for spooky season this year. Wife really enjoyed it. Yeah, man, it's simple. It's relatively cheap. I think when I got it, it was like $30 or something like that. So it's a great price point. The components are decent too. There's not too much. Doesn't take up a lot of table space. Just an overall good fun, cooperative as well. You're working together. You know, you're not actually dead when you're defeated. So it's cool. It's cool. I have not tried American or Greek monsters. No. I heard various things about those. I am interested to try those, but I don't think I'm going to seek those out. I think I'm good with this. And if somebody ever has those, I'd certainly try it. Horrified is a solid co-op. Have you tried them? No, I have not. No. Played American Monsters. I enjoyed it. That's what's up. Is it good? What's up, Michael? Yeah, really like this one. I don't see myself getting rid of this. Maybe at some point, you know, when the kids are, you know, older. I have these grandiose visions of, like, my kids are going to be full-on gamers as well. So, watch them absolutely hate games. I would be so sad. So I'm hoping to play that with them. Okay, so that was number 40. Number 39 is Massive Darkness 2. Massive Darkness 2. So this one's really cool. It's a dungeon crawler, a dice chucker. So you're playing as these heroes fighting off the darkness. You choose a scenario, you go through the scenario, there's these large map tiles, and you pick from various characters, and each of the characters, what's really cool about this game, one of the biggest things I like, is that each character is kind of playing their own mini game. So as the, I forget what it's called, it's like the, what is it, you're the horse, the half horse, the archer. So at least in the core box, I think it's like a half, like Minotaur or some type deal. So the archer, you're playing these cards, getting a certain amount of arrows. You can do different amounts of damage, and depending on how many arrows you draw in that card stack, you can do different things. The wizard, you got this wheel, and you can play various effects based on where the wheel is, stuff like that. So everybody has their own kind of mini game that they're playing, and it's really cool. The berserker, as you take hits, you get tokens, and so you become enraged. You can do various things. It's really cool. And the thing is, there's different types of monsters on the board. There's these mobs. So depending on how many players is determined, that determines how many monsters in the mob that you're going to face. What's crazy about that is most of the time I played this game, it was just myself playing with 2 characters. But when Tim and Matt, my buddies, came over and we played a 3-player game, first off, that's probably not the best way that we should have tackled it. It was already late in the night with some drinking. But it did feel like once you get to a higher player count, it can be harder to kill those enemies because each time you're rolling dice to do an attack, you're rolling your dice. And so you look at your equipment. Maybe you have, an upgraded sword. It's going to roll an orange dice. And whatever kind of various other items or effects you have, abilities, you're going to roll that many dice to attack the enemies. But they also roll one of their black dice for each mob monster on there. So they can actually do hits back to you on your turn attacking. So it can be pretty brutal with more mob monsters. So that was pretty tough. I would be curious to try this again at 3, maybe even my self-controlling 3, just to check that out, or when we might be a little bit more sober. But that was a little tough. But I do just love the gaining the new items. There's a lot of different stacks of items from like common to legendary, each doing something slightly different. You can get more dice to roll. If you're in shadows, you get to roll this special purple dice that might activate your ability. So there's a lot of cool things it has going for it. I think it's relatively, like if you get to a fountain, you can heal. The boards, like the map isn't that big, so movement doesn't feel like it's going to be forever to get to the other end of the board. But just had a really good time with it. A lot of different characters. It's really cool. And the models and the artwork are really good. Really enjoy this one. Let's see. The Druids in this. Stop it. Now, Mike, see, now you're making comments to get at me, Mike. How much of Massive Darkness do you have? So I have everything but the Druids pack, the Big Dragon pack, and I think there was one other expansion. And I don't have like the deluxe like marble dice. I think there was a terrain set for it, even an organization for it. I don't have that sort of stuff. But I have most for it. And that is one of the problems why I don't get around to playing this game all too often, is because it just takes forever to set up. You got to go through multiple boxes. I even have, like, I redid I took out inserts, I combined stuff just to make it faster to set up, but it still takes a long time, to the point that it just doesn't get pulled out that much. It's a problem. Rufus, Massive Darkness 2. Owning all of Nemesis, yeah, that's a big one too. That's a big one too. Necro Rogue and Paladin work great. Yeah, Massive Dark. It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun though. Again, the coolest thing is just everybody's playing their own mini game, and it's really fun. Being able to interact with the different and they're pretty different from each other. Being able to interact with your own hero and how they, work on the board, Paladin placing the tokens that do various things. It's really cool. It's really cool. Damali, hope I'm saying that right. What's up, dude? Okay, Massive Darkness 2. That is 39. So this other one here, I have it up here. I'm only going to get out the manual. It's a wonky box. Yeah, let's just hop right into it. Number 38. I am a little surprised this one isn't higher. I'm a little surprised. But this is Skytear Horde. So I'm not going to get out the... I'm not going to stand it, because it's like this box. It opens up this way. But it is some sick art right there, though. But Skytear Horde. So this is a card game. And this is you have this ally deck, and it's different colors. So think of Magic. So you might have a mono red deck that does specializes in one thing. Maybe it plays burn spells, deals direct damage, stuff like that. Lower cost creatures, if you will, that you're going to place on this board, and you're fighting against this horde of enemies. So the goal of the game is to get through that horde to eventually fight the outsider. So there's this portal that's going to rotate throughout the course of the game. And what's cool about that is at different points in that portal, there's going to have different number values. And that's going to determine how many monsters come onto the board that turn. You have a castle that has its own special ability that you can use. You can tap just like Magic. But the synergy between the units themselves, like your deck, is really cool. My favorite is perhaps the green deck. There's some graveyard recursion, so as your guys die, you can potentially get those back. There's a guy that has his cost is reduced per the number of cards you have in the graveyard. So the more you have in there, the cheaper he is. You get him out, but then you can recur some, get some units back onto the board. The units I find in that deck are pretty reasonably priced for their power and toughness. I'm using Magic. I forget the exact names. So you're going to be using this deck, using the synergies, placing the units in certain lanes, and those are going to either, if they're undefended, it's going to attack the portal. You want to keep doing damage to the portal. Over time, you're going to get a certain amount of mana that you can use to spend to bring out different units, play attachments, stuff like that, play other sorts of spells. So at some point, you're going to defeat the portal. It's going to say to bring in the outsider. That's kind of the big boss. And you're going to defeat different levels of that boss. Throughout the course of the game, there's different minions that are going to have tokens on them. Defeat those, get more mana, so on and so forth. So this is kind of like in some sense, a Magic the Gathering solo mode, if you will. The decks are okay. I haven't mixed and matched them. My favorite, like I said, is the green. I love the yellow deck. Red deck is pretty cool too. I haven't mixed and matched those, and I think I should going forward. The blue deck is okay. I think the reason why this one dropped a little bit for me, the only thing I can kind of think of is that there's another game, or even two, that I generally just prefer to bring out over this one. I do like a lot of the things it's doing, but at first when I played this, I was absolutely in love. It probably would have been in the top 20. But again, there's other games that when I look at this and I compare it to that other one, at least right now, I'd rather pull those out for a fast-paced-ish card game. That's just kind of where it is right now. The rule book could be a lot better. And I even backed all the new stuff on the latest campaign. I am still really looking forward to it. I still really like the game. But just like I said, I think it dropped a little bit just because of those other games. Let's see. I think it's better at 3, honestly. Still good solo, and 2, but 3 is a really good spot. Okay, that's MD2. Gotcha. Love some Skytear Horde. Are you getting Monolith? Yep. Monolith is the new stuff. I am all in for the new stuff. Yep, all in for the new stuff. I am really looking forward to it. New decks. I am going to try to mix and match. I think that's really going to shine. Like, I think I need to do that to freshen it up a little bit. At this point, I've played all the decks. I've played, I think, all but 2 castles. I've played all the, I play on the harder variant for the solo, like the portals. And I think I defeated, I want to say all but 1 outsider, and I've played with all the different types of like Horde decks. So I've played through most of this game. I still really like it. It's still really good. Let's see. Love this game. Can't wait for the new stuff. Absolutely. Matt, what's up, dude? Haven't been able to catch a stream for a while. That's okay, man. I actually haven't streamed for a while, so that works out. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. You as well, brother. Really excited for Monolith. Absolutely. Anyone getting the brass mags for TMB? Dimitri is. I'm not. That is one thing I'm passing on. Ron, what's up, brother? Okay. That is Skytear Horde. Skytear Horde. Okay, that was 38. So 37. I've had this game for quite some time. I actually did a review on this game a long time ago, kind of when I first started the channel. I don't think I'll ever get rid of this game. It is a fantastic little size. But this is Under Falling Skies. Solo only game. This thing is great. It's been compared to Invaders in a board game form. It's a little bit more complicated than that, while still being pretty, you can play a game in relatively good amount of time. So on this, you have this base. It's a long board. So most of the board, probably 2/3 of the board, is the airspace. And then there's a mothership at the top that's eventually going to come down during the game. You have this base that you're going to be trying to dig out throughout the course of the game, getting deeper and deeper, unlocking different spaces. And the various spaces are things like you can shoot down the enemy ships coming. You have to gain energy throughout the game because that's the way that you win. You can build robots that kind of help you out with your facility, if you will. And what's cool is at the beginning of the game, you're going to roll these dice, and there's a certain amount of columns, and you have to place each of those dice in its own unique column. So depending on the number that you roll, it's going to have various effects. So that's going to add to the number corresponding to the space. Maybe you're looking to get, maybe 9, a total of 9 in that space. So that might be a space you have to combine 2 dice, or you have to roll at least 4. So you're going to put a die that you rolled that's a 4 into that spot, maybe to activate the energy going up on the track. That 4 is also going to say the enemy ship in that column is also going to go down 4 spaces. So you might want to place a die onto a fighter ship that's going to shoot them out of the sky. But that's got to be a certain number because maybe it's going to bring that ship down to it's got to land in that sky position on a spot that's going to be able to be blasted out of the sky. I'm probably making it sound more complicated. Watch a video. I highly recommend this one. But it's a fantastic game. You have to balance a lot of things out. The ships are starting to get too low, so maybe you need to shoot a little bit more out of the sky, but you also need to get that meter up with the energy, so you need to dedicate some dice into certain spots, while also placing certain dice to dig down further with your excavator. Really cool game. The components are really cool. I love the artwork. It's also got this fantastic comic book style campaignish, but what's cool is you unlock these things and then they can be used in just one-off missions. Really love the way they did this. It's a small box. It's not too expensive. Like I said, the components are really cool. I'm trying to I think there was something else I wanted to say. Yeah, one of the special things about the dice is there's most of the dice are gray, but there's 2 white dice. So when you roll all of these dice, if you place one of the white dice, you have to re-roll all of the remaining dice. So it's got this cool re-roll mechanic. You say, man, the white die is the number I need with a certain amount of pips. I need it here, but it's going to make me re-roll all of these dice. I don't want to do that, so I got to place the gray dice first. It's a really cool game. I do recommend it a lot. It's really fun. Really fun. Let's see. Okay, yeah, 40 Horrified, 39 Massive Darkness 2. Sorry, 40 Horrified, 39 Massive Darkness 2, 38 Skytear Horde, and 37 Under Falling Skies. Let's see. SBGK is getting the brass mags. Christmas, that's what's up. Don't. He said, judge me. Yes, judge me. Nice, nice. Okay. Not sure how useful they'll be. They're going to look great, though. Yeah, absolutely. Just got that a week ago. Oh, Under Falling Skies, nice, very nice. Most of it is unplayed. Wasn't for me. That's interesting. I thought Mike would have really liked this one. Great game and a great value. Yes, the price is very reasonable. Really enjoy this one. Pretty underrated. It can be, yeah, it can, Frodo. Yeah, it can be a game you really have to think about some moves. But I don't ever feel like after this, I don't ever feel exhausted like going through this. It's got really good, interesting decision space. But again, I don't feel exhausted after I do that. I have not. I played through most of it. And it's pretty cool. You just get new, what are they? Commanders or pilots or something like that. You get different boards, like different cities. Yeah, they are cities. And that's what's cool too, is a lot of the tiles that you play on are double-sided, so you can make it a little bit more complex. Different cities have different powers and stuff like that. It's really cool. Yeah, John, what's up, man? Yeah. Hell, a big shout out for Under Falling Skies. Yeah, man, love this game. Love this game. It's been a little while since I played it, but it's really cool. It's really cool. Okay. That is 37. All right, 36. This is more of a system than a game. So I got 2 boxes out here. And this is Zombicide. So I did get the Marvel Zombies in. I am going to try to do a playthrough of that coming up at some point. But this is kind of for the Zombicide system. I got 2nd edition. This was my first Zombicide. And then recently this. I got a lot of 2nd edition still. These 2 games are quite a bit different, but they still have that same feeling. You're controlling multiple characters. You're going around. The tiles basically operate and look exactly the same. In this one, there's just pimp weapon crates, and you're going to have to search for items and stuff like that. Whereas this one, there's even 2 different modes that come in this. You can actually play as the zombie heroes as well. What's cool about that is you have to eat some of the, the zombies, or I shouldn't say the zombies, they're not walkers either, but the human versions of what the zombies are. And you can also eat the special, I forget the names of them, but like Pepper Potts or something like that. It's not a hero that's going to show up, but she might come up and you might have to, eat her. And then so that's going to lower your threat. I'm forgetting what it's called, but what's cool is as you're on the hunger track, but as the hunger track rises, you can actually roll more dice. So they each have their own unique things that they're doing, but they still feel kind of the same. Hordes are going to spawn onto the board at various locations. These bosses are going to come out, abominations here, superheroes in this one, and they're each going to do their own unique thing. I do like this one, has some things that I like over this one, as far as you don't have to search as many items and stuff like that. That's really cool. But so for this whole system, I'm kind of putting this here. Just running around endlessly, shooting, rolling a bunch of dice, doing different things, searching for items, completing objectives and stuff like that. They both give me the same feeling, so they're both kind of here. I think right now this one leads a little bit over this one, again, because of the you don't have to do endless searching for weapons. In this one, you start with like a baseball bat, you know what I mean, and you gotta try, hopefully you can find something good, okay, find ammo or whatever the case may be. This one, you kind of start out strong. You have certain abilities. You can do a search for just I forget what exactly, it's an attribute, something like that, but you can have like 2 attributes. You still level up the same way in this one. But again, still the same feeling. Zombicide. I do enjoy them. Very simple games. You can get overwhelmed. I will say with this one, my favorite way to play this so far has been with the Ghostbusters expansion. In that, it's kind of similar to this. You start out strong. The Ghostbusters start out with their proton packs, and those can have pretty much, what is it called? Dice that you can just keep rolling if they roll 6s, exploding dice. So they have exploding dice, and they can get super strong. So you don't have to do all this searching. You're kind of strong right off the bat, and that was a lot of fun. I have a playthrough of it. That was so much fun. But yeah, either way, still kind of the same system. So they're both kind of here, same spot. Let's see. Dead or Alive best Zombicide. Okay, so how much have you bought for Marvel Zombies? Okay, so I backed just the core game and the, what is it, the X-Men Resistance, I think it's called. That was through the campaign. And then, foolishly, later on through Game Steward, I ordered 3 big expansion packs, which I believe should be here tomorrow or Saturday. So there's 3 big expansions. That's it. That's all I got. That is a lot of stuff. Thinking back now, I shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. The X-Vader tile changes too. Yeah, everything changes in Under Falling Skies. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Let's see. These are unrelated to Marvel Champions, right? Yeah, absolutely. It's all the Zombicide I need. Yeah, I know. What happened was, I forget the exact time frame. This was my first Zombicide. I went not all in, but I was super close to going all in. I didn't get the smaller expansions. Got a lot of this stuff. Played it a few times. Then I got the Heroes Resistance through Amazon. I got this when this was released. Had a blast with this one. And I really liked the changes that this one did over top of this one. And I'm forgetting the exact time frame of like if I played this and I was like, oh yes, let's go in on this. Or if I already backed this, which I think was the case, and then I bought this. I don't know. It just... I mean, a good question would be if I pull this out anymore with having this. I don't know. Time will tell. One Zombicide is enough. Yeah, that's true. That is true. yeah, I know. Yeah, that Hulk. Yeah, Mike's right. I was playing Hulk, and I picked up the sign. I was like, yes, smash! And then I hit like one zombie. Yeah, out of a whole group. Yeah, waiting for Muppet Zombicide. Yeah, it's coming, Brian. It's coming. Okay. That would probably be that would be the saving grace, the Ghostbusters. Yeah. Or the 3 expansions. Yeah, it's Hydra. There was the Guardians, and then I think the other one was the Spider-Man one. I think those are the 3. Those are the 3. Okay. So yeah, more of a system and not one particular game. Okay. And I honestly expect if I don't play that one that often this upcoming year, I do expect that to kind of drop a little bit. Okay, 35. 35. And this one is because I haven't played recently. It's been a while. Do really like this one though. It is Ankh. It is Ankh. So really cool. This is in the trio or the trilogy of Eric Lang games. Everybody says, Blood Rage, this, and Rising Sun. Fantastic 2-player game. You're playing as these gods that are, slowly being forgotten. So you're trying to battle the other gods so you're not forgotten. Some things I really like. I mean, one, the models are absolutely cool. I love that the different heroes, you can get the same upgrades throughout the course of the game. But there's only a certain amount. So like everybody has access to them all, but you're at the end of the game, the powers that you chose might be a little bit different than the other players. So making your guy a little bit different. And then each god has their own unique ability, which is really cool as well. But probably one of my favorite things about the game is the action selection. So there's 4 different tracks. I'm forgetting exactly what they're called. But you can, what is it? Like gain followers. I believe one is... Oh, man, that's the only one that I'm remembering offhand. It's been a long time. But basically, the way you get to 2 actions. So depending on... So if you choose maybe the highest track, you now have to take for your second action, you have to take one of the 3 that's below it. And I just really like that because you might want to take the bottom action. That might be what you're really trying to do. But if you do, there's nothing under that selection. So you only are going to get one action this time. And then so these tracks also, as everybody takes an action on those tracks, it's going to go to the right one more space. And when it gets to the end of its own unique track, it's going to trigger an event. And that might be building monuments, that are taking control of monuments. It might be combat. It might be placing camels throughout the board, which divide the map even more. So it's really cool. It's an interesting decision space where it's like, man, I don't want them to trigger the event, but that's not really the action that I want to do. If they trigger that event, they're going to get to build a monument or take control of a monument. It's going to potentially get them more points. I guess I got to do that so they don't, get to do that action. I really like that. I think the board is gorgeous. I really like it. Very simple as far as moving around the board. Units get, I believe it's 3 spaces. So when you do a move action, everybody can move 3 spaces, all of your units. And then combat is very unique. Everybody has the same types of cards. I think it's like, I want to say it's like 7 or 8 cards. everybody has the same cards. So you're going to play one, and it goes down to different sections of the board. You might start here at this, spot, this area of the board doing combat. You're going to play a card. So now in the next area of combat, if you're in the battle with that person, you know they can't play that card again. So now, okay, this is the one now I want to play because that other one counters this one. So it's a very cool combat system. And then whoever has the most devotion at the end of the game wins. It's a fantastic 2-player game. I got a ton of content for this stuff as well. The only thing I don't have for this is the Guardians and like the 3D tokens. But I have all the monuments, like the 3D monuments, all the Kickstarter extras and stuff like that. But yeah, fantastic game. Fantastic game. Okay. Yeah, but that is Ankh. I also did, there was a solo mode made for this game that I actually played on the channel as well. I was happy to see a solo mode, but man, at the end of the day, this definitely needs to be a 2-player or more game. The solo mode, while great, some games are just not meant to be played solo, and this is definitely one of those. Okay, so that is Ankh. Let's see, am I having trouble with the stream? Is it cutting out? It looks fine here for now. Okay, let's see. It looked a little choppy on my end. Audio's good, video's good? I think so. Okay. So that was 35. That is Ankh. Now, Mike, I think you're going to be excited about this pick here. Let's see. A little bit on the video, but the audio is fine. Okay, cool. Thank you. Mike, I think you're going to like this pick. Very surprised it ended up where it did. I think it just, again, it comes down to Pub Meeple pitting the games side by side. I just chose one, and this just must have left a very good impression. But this is City of the Great Machine. City of the Great Machine. Very shocked that it's here. I haven't played that many games, but I really liked what this thing did. So you're playing as you're in this city, and there's this great machine that's trying to do its master plan. And you are trying to cause these riots, 3 riots, and bring the citizens to cause an uprising. But what's cool, this is a hidden movement game, but I think they did the solo mode really well. So what's cool is you are going to choose the spots on the board that you travel to first, and you don't know where the enemy is going to go to. So after you, as the heroes, make your selection, then it will be revealed what the enemy is doing. And I also like that because the enemy has a certain deck that is, it's the same deck. It's not a large deck, so you can kind of say, okay, those cards aren't in the deck anymore. I know they can't do those certain actions. So now I'm going to take certain actions because I know they can't do those. Like they're not going to go to certain spaces and activate certain things. Really cool. You can flip over these civilian tokens. Citizens, I think they're called. I'm forgetting the name of it. But that's going to give you more. I'm even forgetting the name of the monetary system. Is it credits? I don't want to say credits. Something like that, but that can be used to pay for different things. It's the board itself can kind of change around slightly. In my experience, that hasn't happened all too often, but it's still possible, and it's still cool when it does take effect. Just a lot of actions in this game, like different choices that you have to make. It's very interesting, and so you have to beat the great machine before it's able to carry out its plan, and it always feels like a tight race. Just really like this one. I think it's really cool, and it plays relatively quick. Like if you start to learn the game, games don't take a long time. It's not that big of a table presence on the board. I just really liked a lot of things that this one was doing. It surprised me a lot, and yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Jordan, what's up, man? Garrett, you're talking about City of the Great Machine? One of the best sold games of 2023. Should be higher, but I still like, hey man, I'm surprised it's this high. I'm surprised it's this high. It is great, yeah. Not a crazy heavy rule set. Yep. Really good decisions. Yep. It's got a great insert in the box. Extra space left over. There's not a lot of components. It's great, man. And I think they did the solo mode. Like I said, I've never played the multiplayer, but it's a hidden movement game. But I think the way they implemented that with the solo, I think they did a great job. Yeah, Garrett, yeah, check this one out, man. It surprised me. It surprised me. The rebels have to create a coded language. I don't have the expansion, and you know what? I think I'm okay without the expansion. Is there only one expansion? Yeah, this one's good. This one's really good. Okay, that was 34. Okay, 33. Gonna play this after stream to make up for being yeah, yeah, I hear you, man. It could go higher. Who knows? Who knows? Next year. Next year. Okay. Number 33. This is a big box. This is old Uthyia. This is Uthyia. I've had this game for some time. I have a few playthroughs on the channel. I did a review for this as well. A lot of people compare this to Mage Knight. It's nothing like Mage Knight. It does have similar, like, you know, it's got this hex tile system. You move around, you place tokens on there. That's about all it shares in common. I've only played this solo. The solo rules are a little bit different than the multiplayer rules. I really like what they did with the solo deck. The way that they did the solo mode. So you're this hero. You have to choose an objective or scenario that you want to play. The scenario is going to dictate how many turns that you have. And over the course of the board, you're going to be uncovering these new tiles. The tiles might have different things. It's going to say, you know, this is a level 1 monster. It's going to show you the reward that you're going to get from defeating the monster on that. Different spaces might have different types of marketplaces. Also, the spaces might have elementals that might alter the dice that you roll in combat. Really like that stuff. But the combat system itself, it's really cool. You reveal a card for the enemy that you go to battle, and it's going to determine how many tokens that enemy has. And also then when it's the enemy's turn, you're going to flip over a card, and it's going to say the enemy actually rolled these dice. So the enemy might have rolled a 9. And then so it might say the enemy also uses a chaos token, or I forget what the other one is, to add to or to re-roll a die. So it's going to have a certain value, and that value is going to dictate how much damage it does. They're also going to have a deck of cards that might get added to that to do more special effects. And you can manipulate those dice with items and equipment that you have, and then it goes to your turn, and it's basically the same thing. So the enemy might have played a card that says your roll is reduced by a certain amount. Maybe you're next to a wind elemental that flips your most expensive die to its other result. The earth elemental adds 2 to whatever result you have. So it's really cool lining up these combats. You don't want to go to the wind elemental because they suck. You always get the end of, you know, the worst end of it in combat. Oh, but now you're going up next to a water elemental. You're going to heal, and an earth elemental. 2 added to your roll. Let's battle the enemy. Let's get 5 coins and some other stuff and a potion maybe. And then let's go to the market. You travel to the market that unit was covering, and then we can buy some upgraded items. I love upgrading in this game, buying new equipment and stuff like that, leveling up on the certain skill tree. A lot of fun. You can do a lot of different things. You can find gems. You can slot gems, kind of like a Diablo 2-esque type deal, is that you can find these gems and you can slot those into gear, whether that's items or equipment that you're wearing, and it can do various different things. There's a lot of different types of gems. So it really feels like, and I said this in my review, it kind of feels like a Diablo 2-esque type game with that inventory and leveling up type deal. One of the biggest criticisms I have is you can see the size of this box, but there's no insert. So everything is just kind of, if you can imagine just this box, everything just kind of sits inside of this. So it can take forever getting everything out. of this huge box and setting it up. It just takes a long time. And just there's a lot of stuff you have to set up for each scenario. And I think that's probably the biggest thing of why this just doesn't get played. I did play it recently. I said, screw it. You know what? If I have the game, if I'm not playing it, why am I keeping it? So let's play a game. And I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Another criticism I have is I just kind of wish, and I was thinking about this today when I was going over the list, I just wish you kind of were able to get more items. I feel like the scenarios, the time is like maybe 8 to 12 chapters long. And so you don't have that many actions in each of, I say chapters, rounds. You don't have that many actions in each of those rounds. So you're not going to get that much coin to then buy all these items. And I just wish that you did a little bit more. I wish the games were longer. I think I even said in the review, the way that I might play going forward is that I think I'm just going to say, you know what? Let's go up to 20 rounds. Let's just see what we can do. Let's see how many monsters we can take out. Let's see how much we can upgrade our skill tree. Let's see how many items we can buy. Let's see what kind of sets we can put together. Gems we can slot into that stuff. Let's just kind of get overpowered and run around. Because the thing is, even when I'm buying decent gear, and I'm like, this is probably the only gear I'm going to get. I got a helmet, I got some armor, and maybe I have another weapon. All the rest I use to upgrade the skill tree to see what I could get for healing and stuff like that. So let's just go. Let's just see how strong I can get. And I think I was saying, even with that good gear, maybe my health is starting to rise up a little bit. I'm still kind of struggling against level 2 enemies. I don't think I'm that terrible at the game. I think that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. So I want to get stronger. I want to build out my whole character. I want to explore a lot more of the board and stuff like that. So I might just go 20 rounds. Let's see what we can do. Or let's just give ourselves more coins. Let's see. Uthyia, hell yes. Rufus, I knew you'd like this one. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, moving through the list quickly tonight. Yeah, absolutely. It's just kind of how it's rolling. I mean, it's 53 minutes. It's not it's a little faster than last night. Yeah, it's a big box. It's a big box. Eric, wish I could play this game. Did you back the new campaign? Close to back in Uthyia. It is good. It is good. It's just, it's a commitment, man. It is a commitment. It does fit on a shelf. It does fit on a shelf. It does. Let's see. Yeah, glad Steamforge Games picked it up. Absolutely. Yep. 100%, Brian. Build a Minecraft base with 64 Uthyia cubes. Yeah. Microwave box. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a throwback, Dimitri. Yeah. Rufus came out the microwave box. That was hilarious, dude. No insert, man. Nope, no insert. Now, there's a fantastic video. I believe I gave him a shout out on my review. There's a certain way that you put everything back, and I do that every time. It works out. It's still kind of tight. Let's see. I think, Tim, that's a good idea. I think that's what I'll do, is just double the coin payout. Because that's one of my biggest gripes. I just feel like I'm short on, for the amount of like rounds that they give you per scenario. You know, let's pretend you got 12 rounds in the game. You're not going to be able to go to the market every single round. So let's pretend you're going 8 to 10. You're also not going to have enough coins every single time you visit each of those times to buy the stuff. And even if you do, it's because you need to spend some coin to heal. You need to spend some coins to reveal the next level in your tech tree to be able to purchase that. You need to spend coins potentially to unlock certain spaces on your hero board to even put your upgrades. So you need to spend coins for a lot of different things. And, you know, so I think that's a good workaround. I'll leave it on the table. Yeah, I did for a little while. Thanks, Mike. Iridia, I'm looking forward to Iridia as well. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, can't wait. Absolutely. Yeah, I think Iridia is going to be really good. I have high expectations for that game. It looks really good. Okay, that was 33. 32. 32. Okay. 32 is Mac and Arcana. I actually just posted a picture. I played a little bit of this game last night. Oh, look at this dust. Whew. Yeah, just played a little bit of this game last night. I really like this. I think it's a pretty unique dungeon crawler. I think it does the stuff that it does really well. So you're playing as these heroes or investigators. I forget exactly what they're called. One of the cool things is they're all standees. There's no minis, so it doesn't take up as much space as it otherwise would. It was a little bit cheaper because of that. But you're playing as these characters, and you have certain scenarios that you're going to be trying to go through, and so you're going to be going around this board. It's kind of like the size of a Zombicide tile, this board, and you can travel across this board doing different things. You can explore chests, so you might have to draw from certain decks. There's 4 different types of decks: weapons, like armor, magical spells, like arcane stuff, one-time use cards. So there's these different things. You can build out these items. What's really cool is, let's say you get a gun. Well, you can have an attachment that goes onto that gun. You might have, by the end of the game, you might have a piece of armor with 4 different attachments to it. A vastly different thing that you had the previous game. It's just a really cool thing to be able to attach and combine different things. So I really like that element of it. Everybody has their own abilities that they can do. And then so you're going to be trying to go through these spaces, and there's a card, a story card off to the side, and so that's going to say your objective on there. So it might be certain things like spending a certain amount of essence, where you're going to gain essence by performing different actions on that board. There's different obstacles on each of the map tiles, like exploding barrels. There was one part in a playthrough that I did that there was multiple exploding barrels next to each other, and there was enemies next to those barrels. So I ended up attacking one of the barrels, which you can do, which ended up causing a chain reaction to all the barrels, annihilating all the enemies around it. It was so fun. I absolutely love that. There's just a lot of different things you can do in here. It's a long game. I think this is probably, if you put, I think the one story that I played, I did it in 2 parts, and each part was 6 hours. I think if you combine that, this is probably my longest stream for a single scenario that I've ever done. But it's really cool, man. I like a lot of the stuff that it does. It's got a max enemies of 4 out onto the board at a time. And what's cool is, I should say, the way that the characters work is you have a certain amount of stamina. So at the start of your turn, you have 6 stamina. But each action costs a different amount of stamina. So you can choose to just run all the way across the board using all of your stamina. You can stay in place. Attacking with your weapon is going to cost 3 stamina. You can go over one space, and then go to uncover a new tile. That's going to cost 2 stamina. So you can do a lot of different types of things on your turn. It's very thematic. The board is very dark. The whole game is very dark. I mentioned the other day about Solomon Kane. Story all throughout Solomon Kane. This is another one of those. Over the course of the game, there's going to be these horror event cards, these explorer event cards, even on the story chapters that you're going to flip over. You're constantly reading these, effects and these little bits of story throughout, keeping you invested into the game. And I really like that. I think that is one of the ways that the game took forever, is that I was constantly reading horror event cards, and they're not like a sentence. Some of those are like multiple paragraphs. So just reading those cards every single time, that can drag the game out, but it keeps you invested. So there's a lot of cool different things that you can do in this game. You can set off traps. So if like there's a monster standing on a trap, you can activate a trap and you roll a certain amount of dice to see if it hits. It's really cool. It's really cool. Mac and Arcana, yeah, man, it's a great one. It's a great one. And the reason why I busted it out was because I made this list and I'm looking through some of the games and I'm like, man, it's been a while since I played Mac and Arcana. It's this high on the list. Let's get it out. And I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it. Let's see. Back to reprint of Isovarian Guard. Very nice. Thank you, Frodo. Appreciate that. Yeah, Mac and Arcana, it's a good one. It is a really good one. I will say, though, and I think I said this in a playthrough, I think it's expensive for what you're actually getting. I think it's a little expensive. You're not getting that many tiles in there. You're not getting that many cards. And it was like $100 game. I thought it was just a little expensive for what actually comes in there. But yeah, it's still a really good game. And this is I believe it's the third printing. Yeah. Is it the second? Maybe it's the second. I think it's the second edition. No, third edition. It is the third edition. Okay. Number 31. Number 31. This is, I've had this game for quite some time. And this is Gloomhaven. It's been a long time since I played this, especially the physical edition. But there was a time I played this game a lot. I didn't finish the game. So me and my wife started a campaign. We played through a few missions. My buddies and I started a campaign, 3-player game. We played a lot. I think we got to like chapter 12 or something like that. I remember we stayed up. There was a time we stayed up until like 5 in the morning. And Tim was just nodding out. And it was just me and Matt would take our turns. Tim! And he'd look at his cards, he'd play, and then he would just nod back off. Played a lot of this. After that, I started my own, playing 2 characters. I painted some of the minis. I even built my own 3D terrain set. If you haven't seen that, you might be able to just, go on YouTube and do a search for, Gloomhaven 3D terrain, and my video might come up. But I put a lot of heart into that stuff. I just really like this game. I love a lot of what it does. You're playing as these heroes, and you have this. You're going throughout this world trying to take on scenarios and quests and stuff like that. But what's really cool about this game is you got a deck of cards, which can be upgraded throughout the course of the game. But you choose 2 cards, and then you have to choose a top part of one of the cards and a bottom part of another one of the cards. And then it goes by the initiative order. And what's cool is, you might have planned out a turn in your head of like, I'm going to move over here, I'm going to attack these 2 enemies, but they might have got a faster initiative than you, so that plan might have changed up a little bit. Don't worry, that you can't perform your cards exactly how you wanted. The cards have a basic attack and a basic movement, so you can kind of change up your turn on the fly a little bit. But it is so fun to actually plan out when it lines up together. You do a cool move, move and attack, and then you finish them off with like this swiping attack, taking out multiple enemies. When those come together, I just think it is so fun. And again, I played a lot of this game. I do really like it. It is kind of annoying that if you didn't explore the chests or the coins, they're just kind of left off to the wayside. Like you're exploring this dungeon, you see this nice shiny chest after you just killed all the enemies, and you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna bounce. So like the chest, I could see like a house full getting the chest. I don't care. I haven't done that, but I played a lot of this game digitally as well. So I really like this game. I did back Frosthaven. I still haven't gotten that out. It is another big box. It's a lot to go through. It's a lot to set up. But I do need to get the Frosthaven at some point. I like it, man. I think it's cool. I think the board layout is really nice on there. The different characters are really cool. I love this. I forget what he's called, but this guy right here, he was really cool. And the Inox, that was my man too. This guy right here. So these 2 guys, I played those 2 guys together. That was a lot of fun. But it's cool. I do like the card system. Most of the time, the way that I lose in this game is I run out of cards. That can be frustrating, man. But it does add a cool element of, okay, well, I have this really cool card, two cards that if I play these two abilities, that is going to come over here. I'm going to be able to heal my partner for like, 4 health. And then I'm going to be able to do an area of attack, taking out multiple enemies. But it's too early in the game. And if I do that, I have to lose those cards. I can't afford to lose those cards yet because maybe my deck is actually kind of small, compared to like the Quirtle has like, I don't know how many cards, but more than the Inox, right? So I got to be kind of cautious with getting rid of my cards until the late game. Now I can afford to, do this certain attack that gets me experience points that allows me to take those out. I'm going to lose that card, but that's okay. There's only like 3 enemies left. I can manage. So it's got this cool, decision-making space there. And then plus gaining the new items and stuff like that. I think it's cool. It can also be frustrating with the modifier deck. Very annoying when you get that that 0 with the X or the slash through it. You completely whiff, but you might get the ×2 modifier and it's cool. But being able to modify that deck throughout the course of the game, on your attribute sheet, you can say, okay, get rid of a -1, add a +1 in there, so you can modify that deck a little bit. That's a lot of fun. I do really like that. Just overall really cool. It has been easier to get the game out with the digital version. I think they did a fantastic job with that. That's kind of why I haven't gotten this one out. And I think maybe part of me subconsciously is kind of hoping they just come out with a Frosthaven digital version and I just hop on that instead of busting out all that stuff. But either way, really cool. Have a lot of good memories with this one. Just a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm shocked by that, Mike. I'm shocked by that. Committed group, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. Definitely regret back in Frosthaven. Yeah, Mind Thief is really cool too, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I regret it. I think I will play through it, but how much? Have both games. I'm super confused as why the Frosthaven campaign didn't come with the map book. Had it back to. Oh, is that right? Really? Tinker. Yeah, the Tinker. Yeah. The Tinker. That's right. That's right. Okay, that's good to hear, Adam. Okay. All right, that's cool. I heard good things. Oh, is that right? Yeah, because dude, that took a long time for them to do Gloomhaven digital. I know that was in like beta testing, beta status forever, dude, for a long time. Yeah, they're probably just like, you know what, we're not putting all that work into it anymore. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just one of those like, excuse me. I played a lot of the game. I have really good memories. It's a little bit harder for me to pull out. My preferences on games that I play, especially throughout the week, have changed quite a bit. So it's a little bit harder for me to just pull this thing out and get a game going. Most of it, I've been kind of leaning towards these kind of smaller box, faster to set up, faster to play through a game. G.I. Joe, Skytear Horde, For Glory, stuff like that. Ashes. So that kind of is taken away from some of these other big box. And then especially with the digital, like I said, I probably won't ever pull this out. I'll probably just play the digital. But, it's been a long time since I played. I think some of it is just, yeah, man, those memories were good. And I do really like the action system, but it's definitely fallen. But still, I mean, it's 31. It's still pretty high. It's still pretty high. Because what happened was we were having a game night, and I used to watch this guy Black Magic Craft. That's where I get all my crafting ideas from. So I was watching him religiously for some time. So I was like, this is kind of after that whole session I was talking about up till like 5 in the morning. 6 in the morning, whatever it was. And I was like, okay, we got another session coming up. I spent a week straight staying up till like 2 in the morning building this terrain with the mask on, cutting out all this, material and stuff, painting. And it turned out exceptionally well. And then we had to cancel, and we never actually used it. We never actually used it. It's just been sitting. It's been sitting in a tub. So yeah, I get a little crazy sometimes. TNB 9 expansions. That's that's a good guess. That's a good guess. You're not far off. You're not far off. Here with that top 10, maybe slide Cloudspire in here for a CTG top 10. They're getting how many games do they have now? TNB, Cloudspire, 20 strong, Hoplo. What's that other game? Is that lock picking game? That's one. They're having, what is it? Not Ether Fields. What's that other game they just had a huge campaign for? Elder Scrolls. They're getting up there. They're starting to get up there. I do have 20 strong coming. I did purchase 20 strong, so that will be coming at some point, hopefully soon. Let's see. 60 minutes or less. Yeah. Including TNV characters. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, what do you guys think the next 30 are? Yeah. There's what, 17? Is there 17 gear locks? I think there's 17 gear locks. Yeah. All right, so the next 18 spaces. Well, I guess the expansions. Yeah. So the top 30 spots are, it's all bone stuff. It's all bone stuff. Let's be honest. Frost Haven is fun, but harder for sure. I mean, like I said, the way that I usually lost most of the time in this, I just ran out of cards. And that could be super frustrating. Even if I thought I was like making the best moves, still running out of cards just felt kind of like, I know it's part of the game, part of the strategy, but it kind of felt a little like not dying by losing health, but by just running out of cards. You know, you gotta know when to long rest. I barely ever short rest. It just feels, I don't like short resting, but just, you know, long resting, planning out when to do that. I do like that stuff. It's just, I don't know, just running out of cards can feel, you know, kind of yucky sometimes. Yeah, TMB and other expansions, yeah, for sure. What's everybody saying? Burn cycle. Oh, burn cycle. Yeah, thank you guys. Yep, you're right. Trip lock. Yep, that's it. 18 gear locks. Okay. Trove chest can fit no more. I think mine can fit another. I think in the top tray it could fit one more playmat. Yeah, it could fit one more playmat. SPGK. Don't say that. Don't be negative. Let's see. 20 strong. It's great to play CTG game in under an hour. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Mike hasn't steered me wrong from some of his game recommendations. City of the Great Machine was his too, so I'm taking his word for it. It does look good. I hear a lot of good things. Someone shared on the CDG Discord that they fit the minis in the trove chest. What? For real? Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. But yeah. Yeah, so Gloomhaven. And then like I said, the next 30, so the 30 through 21 is Monday, 20 through 11 is the following Wednesday, and then 10 through 1 is going to be next Friday. Still some surprises. I think some people are going to be surprised. I was. Biggest shakeup, I think, is, again, Raiders falling as low as it did. 2 games are on this, I guess Raiders was, no, Tidal Blades was not technically on the top 50 list. But Solomon Kane I don't have, even though it is on this list, as crazy as that sounds. Scythe was another huge drop. Did I have that at number 10 last? Yeah, I think I did last year, and it's 41. Yeah, a few surprises. Another big drop next from 30 to 21. There's a huge drop in there. Yeah. And then the top 10 got shaken up a little bit. Definitely got shaken up a little bit. There was one new game that I played semi recently. I want to say within the past 6 months that is on there. So a new appearance. I think there's three new games that weren't on the top 10 last year. There's 3 new games, and 3 have left. Let's see. Probably will like it, but won't play much. Here we go. Oh. You're talking about Voidfall. I thought you were talking about 20 Strong for a second. Yeah, I mean Voidfall, dude. I think I'm starting to. Some of these games, man. It just looks like too much of a commitment for me, at least right now. You know what I mean? Voidfall definitely seems like a game I probably would like, but Mike's right. I probably just wouldn't play it much. It would probably just end up being I play a few rounds to learn it for a stream. I play it on stream, and I don't touch it for a long time. That's probably just what it end up being. So, I'd love to play somebody else's copy that knows how to play the game, but I don't see myself acquiring it. Rent a venue. That would be cool. Get some get an actual con, a new con going. Brew con. Let's see. Mike's preaching the gospel. Yeah, I know he is. I trust him that it'd be good, but yeah, I just can't right now. So yeah, that's the list. That is the list. Okay. All right, guys. I think we're going to call it hour and 20. If you haven't yet, please click the like button on the video. It seriously does help out. If you aren't subscribed yet, please think about subscribing. More videos are coming soon. I will have the following top 10, 30 through 21, up on the channel. Maybe I'll throw it up tomorrow. Go over to that video, click the notify so you don't miss it. And if you do want to support even more, I do have a Patreon page. Get access to the Discord. We have a pretty good time over there. A lot of crazy guys. And yeah, so I will see you guys next Monday. First time it took Andrew 1 hour to set up Voidfall. The last time, maybe. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys on Monday. Take care. King of Prussia. Could be. Peace out, guys.